This is April Schultheis, using the computer to generate this message. This is a difficult topic. Let me just start by saying that being godly in an ungodly world can be difficult. You come under attack, even deadly attack, for showing respect for God. But here is a real-life example, from my actual life, of why this is worse than you might think. I have to leave out names and details, because the story is actually true. Yes, true. I experienced it myself. So here's what happened. Quite some years ago, a co-worker told me she had been propositioned sexually by one of her co-workers, and invited to join a sex group. To be perfectly clear, that means people at work were having sex orgies, which, I believe, may be illegal. It's certainly immoral. I was horrified. I had never heard of anything in real life like that, just vague stories of the hippie lifestyle in the 1970s. I was a kid in the 70s, but this was at work, and the 70s were over. Now, here's where it gets even worse. Again, this is a difficult topic, and I myself was raised with Christian values, and I try to stay away from sin, but this was at work. It was hard to escape. This was literally bartering sex for advantages in the workplace, and in groups. They are breaking all the sexual misconduct policies. So here's what happened later. I had more than one psychic predator pretending to be the Lord on the astral plane, but didn't know what was going on at all. These are really humans. Be alert. If you think you are talking to God or someone or something supernatural in the realm of thought, you are probably wrong. It's really a human using science of the mind and psychic attack against you. But at one point, the person pretending to be the Lord on the astral plane told me that there were multiple sexual liaisons going on all around me between and amongst co-workers, and, in fact, they were in a sex group, and part of a bigger sex group on campus. At first, I could not process this. It did not relate to anything I knew. But here's the thing. The woman who propositioned my friend years before was clearly in a sexual relationship with someone in my office, someone who had power, and she was married at the time, and committing adultery. So that woman was definitely involved in sex groups, and she was also definitely involved with at least one person in my office. I finally started to realize this was all really much more widespread than I thought. It was not limited to a few immoral individuals. It was everywhere, and right in my office. As an unmarried virgin with real Christian values, I was on the outside of it, but they were trying to drag me in. When I resisted, the bullying at work got worse and worse. I found out that a male co-worker had been pretending to be God, and I tried to get rid of him by reading scriptures, in private. Yes, in private. The bullying got worse. In fact, too late I found out everyone, and I mean everyone, was in on it, and supporting my assailant. It was widespread. The churches were in on it. Things got worse for me when I sought help from 3 separate churches, the church I had been raised in, a different Christian church I respected, and a church that wasn't Christian. They all attacked me. In fact, I was hunted down for a kill, and labeled free, easy, virgin kill. Secret societies protect vice, and, as far as I can tell, they're all in on it. This is Rome. We're still dealing with Herod in Rome, and Rome likes to make humans into gods. Rome invaded Native America, and forced indigenous peoples into slavery, and practiced genocide against the native tribes. And Rome is supported by secret societies, and their secret is hypnosis. Rome is ruthless. Native American peoples have suffered under Rome through widespread elimination and assimilation. Genocide is always wrong, always. I grew up in the Grey Eagle, California area. I was told the indigenous peoples simply moved on when the railroad came to Portola. Now I'm sure the truth is something awful. Be warned, the realm of thought is real. Fight back. Practice psychic self-defense. Do not have sex. Do not eat meat. Read the Bible. Respect all life. The scriptures say, "Turn us again, O God of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved."